when it comes to psychics and mediums. Some of you are believers and others are skeptics. And we get it, but to each their own. But my reading from one particular medium was very enlightening, so I asked him to join us today. Please welcome psychic medium Chris Medina to the show. Hey, Chris.
Hey, love, how's it going?
Hi, Chris.
Thank you for
How are
having me on.
you?
Hey, ladies, how's it going?
Hi. So good.
So now, Chris, can you tell us how you got into this field and how long you've been doing this? Because it's incredible.
I have been doing this since birth. I have not done psychic readings as a profession until 2014, but I was born and raised this way. Yeah, if nobody in my family would ever say, okay, Chris is a psychic, they would always say, go to Chris. He's, he knows all the right things to say here. Go to him for advice. He's very, he's good that way. I live in Simi Valley. I grew up in Simi Valley, California. And back then, I'm old. It was nothing. It was really, really racist. It was really, really bad. I got bullied severely. And I did not know how to use my ability back then other than to manipulate. I knew that I can tap in, and this would work on teachers, this would work on kids, just to talk my way out of getting my butt kicked. Because again, Latin, I'm obviously gay, and having to grow up that way, where this is something that was just, it was a horrible experience. I found that I had the ability to tap in and pick up things on people, their insecurities, their fears, and use it to my advantage. It was not till later on in life, 2014, where my guides, I never used to say that before, came in and said, remember what we told you when you were like 4 or 5 years old? Now is the time. I'm like, what do you mean it's time? They said, you're going to start on your new journey, on your new path. You have to understand something. I spent 20 years in the insurance industry, a normal person. I worked in every major insurance company within Southern California as a normal person, but still psychic and still giving readings. 2014 came, they said that you're gonna embark on a new path and a new life here. And I was like, you guys are nuts. How am I gonna do this? And then they were like, if you do not do this, push is gonna come to shove and you're gonna be forced to do this. So I was like, okay, let me figure out what we're going to do here. I had my then manager I told him, he's like, how are we going to get you out there as a psychic? I said, call every media outlet, get on every podcast, every radio show, and ask if they want a psychic. But I told him, I said, if I'm going to do this as a profession, I told my guides this, I told my manager, I am going to come out here and I'm going to change the face of metaphysical and spiritual. We know how hokey it is. How many shows about mediums can you have? How many times can you talk to the dead there? It's been my personal experience that when I use the medium side, that the spirit on the other side, the loved one, the family member, does not want the person coming back. I've had ghosts tell me, I want them to move on. This is insane. They cannot be doing this. So what I do here is completely different. I go on a psychic level. I go in and tell you where you're being blocked. What is in your way right now? What's preventing you from reaching the next phase and or level? Not dipping into your past lives. There's no way to validate that. I've had people come and ask for readings that tell me, I've had a reading before where, they told me that I was a warrior princess and that's why, in a past life, saw my mate get killed and I've got all this stuff that I need to make up for in this lifetime. Well, that's great, but when are we going to get to this lifetime? So I'm all about evolving.
Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, I know that a lot of people listening to you right now just might be wondering what exactly is the process for one of your readings.
The process is simple. I get this question asked all the time. Chris, what do I need? What do I do when I go for a psychic reading? What information should I give them? Nothing. If they are truly psychic, the most that you give them is just your name. I always tell my clients for the first 5 to 6 minutes of your session, I'm going to go in and give you what my guides are giving me to give you directly, and then I'll open the reading up to any questions that you have. But during this time, feel free to jump in and call me out if it doesn't resonate or it sounds off. But when I do hit stuff, simply confirm yes, but do not give me any additional details. That's how I start my readings. And I don't use a crystal ball. I don't use crystals. I don't use tarot cards. Everything that I need for a reading is right here.
And what's the top subject that people ask about?
Oh gosh, you know how it is. Love, career.
Love.
That's what I ask about.
I knew it.
Yeah, a good majority of my clientele is women. And I spend a lot of time with them in a lot of 2020 was a pain in the butt for everybody, and a lot of people had time to want to start families, to want to have babies, and a good majority of my clients would come and ask me, Chris, I'm not getting pregnant. What do you see happening? And I know, girls, this sounds hokey, but I'm just going to say it. Whenever I give somebody a reading and I can scan their body and see if they have any type of illness or anything that's blocking them, whether it's stomach issues or headaches or TMJ, I look at my clients and I'm able to see that there's nothing wrong with them. And I asked them, I said, when you went to the doctors, did the doctor tell you that, there was issues with you getting pregnant or how, maybe a low egg count or whatever the case may be? No, that's just the thing. This is all you. You're not allowing yourself the opportunity to let go and be in the moment. You've put this time clock on your back and trying to get things done in a certain amount of time that you're not enjoying the process. What child, what soul, or what person wants to come into something that's anxiety ridden? And I tell them, relax, enjoy it. And again, I'm not coming from a place of pride and ego, but they'll tell me, Chris, I did exactly what you said and I'm pregnant. Thank you so much. Don't thank me, thank you. This is you that did it,
well,
not
you
me.
You just said what people normally ask you about. What do you wish people would focus on more?
I wish they would focus on themselves as an individual and being in the present. If I hear we rise by lifting others, again, it'll be too soon. You can't lift another person if it's breaking your back. Evolve first. Get yourself where you need to be that individual. And if you have the time, the patience, and the energy, then you could help out your neighbor. But remember, you first.
Okay, so Chris, you gave Jeannie and I a reading. So why don't you start by first telling everyone some of the points that you have for me, and then we'll get to Jeannie as well.
Fantastic. Yeah. With you, love, we went over this. With you, this is all about remembering who you are. I think with my girl, Garcelle, that she forgets her power sometimes. I think that she's so busy being her that she forgets to take herself out of the box and realize who she is sometimes, and allowing herself the opportunity to let go and not be so, not overthink, and just be free here. Because yeah, exactly. And you're just very cautious. You're just somebody that I feel like with you that you can hold yourself back at times because, again, overthinking the process, or again being too cautious and overthinking to the point to where it's like you talk yourself out of it. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And when it comes
and
to
Chris, I'm ready for you. So you gotta lay it on me. Come on, bring it.
I'm gonna lay it on you, girl. This is, again, with you, I have nothing negative to give you. You are a go-getter. This is something to where, again, I think that you get very tunnel vision, very focused on what's in front of you and the prize, that you just jump out the gate here. So again, I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know. Just make sure that you're taking this time to realize where you're at, enjoy the fruits of your labor. This isn't stop and smell the roses and take an extended period of time doing that here, remembering that you are human with your own needs here and putting yourself first.
Well, Chris, thank you so much for that. You
You're
were
so welcome.
absolutely
Thank you, ladies.
Enlightening, and thank you for joining us today. We appreciate you so much.